All right, welcome in. Welcome back to another episode of Bears Film Room, presented by SportsMockery.com. My name is Dave, cover the Bears for SM. Joined by my good friend, co-host, also Sports Mockery writer, and we have a playoff pregame show. First one, I think, ever. I was trying to think back. I don't think we've done any.
No, we haven't.
It was the last playoff game for the Bears, Fick, and we weren't even covering the team for the. We didn't even have this podcast at that moment. I think it was a year later. So, super stoked about this one. I cannot wait for Saturday. It is going to be, it's going to be crazy. The trilogy ends here, and I think I said, I either tweeted something. I said I hope I like this trilogy because this is the offseason. Like if we lose this one, we have to sit the entirety of the year or the offseason and kind of reminisce on what could have been. I'm sure this will be a close game, but Fick, before we hop into this pregame show, this playoff pregame, how you doing, man? And
doing
Wednesday.
It is weird to normally be doing this on Wednesday, but I don't have coffee injected into my veins like normally our Saturday show. So definitely a different vibe here, but I will say, excuse me, pretty good. This cough is killing me though for my sickness, but I'm no longer sick, but cough's carrying on. But what's most important here, talk about being sick. I might be a real sick man come Sunday because I, for the first time in my life, have 2 back-to-back playoff games for both of my football teams. I have IU semi-championship or semifinal, on Friday, which I'm going to. And then Saturday, I have to follow that up with the Bears. So either I'm going to be on top of the world on Sunday, be kind of okay if I get one of them, or I'm going to be just a poor little puppy. So, yeah, I know you said you're excited and ready for it. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little bit of a nervous wreck because I've got really 2 important games coming up. Happy to be in this position, though. I'd rather be in this position than what we've normally been in the past, right? We talked about it going into this season, Dave. Can we just have football that we care about by December? Actually, I think we may have said October. And the fact that we got that plus more in such an exciting season, I don't want to downplay it. I'm definitely ready to go. But yeah, it's going to be probably the biggest sports weekend of my life. So fun stuff.
Yeah, forget the IU plays. You said Friday?
Friday, yeah.
That's going to be electric. They should win it all. But anyways, Bears podcast, I feel good. I am a little at a different spot. Note to self, I should have had more faith in year one with Ben Johnson. So I booked a vacation. We're in Colorado right now, in a mountain essentially. Thank goodness for I think that they have Starlink at this Airbnb, and that's so nice. I'm in a different spot. I will be back Saturday covering the Bears, so just should not have. Yeah. Anyways, note to self: next year, no vacations till after February.
To be fair. You did, and I both predicted that this team would win 9 games, which isn't enough to make the playoffs. So
typically,
I mean, look, I don't think anybody thought, and maybe there were outliers. No one came in and was like, oh yeah, we're winning the NFC North. So the fact that they did, that's what's made this season so fun because of the shock and surprise that we've seen with Ben Johnson and crew. So I can't even blame you for that. I'm in that same boat.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm excited. I wouldn't have it any other way. So, this is a fun one, our first playoff pregame show, and we're super excited. We're going to kind of start changing some things up. We're going to continue our Saturday morning pods, but with the offseason, whether it's right around the corner or if it's after the Super Bowl, depending how this team does, we're going to kind of change up our frequency of when we do the show. We'll keep the Saturday, but I think we're going to go about maybe 2-3 times a week in the off season. We'll see, but different time frame. Wednesday this is 6:38, I think, Central Time Zone. No.
Yeah. Almost. It's 7. It's 6 my time,
4.
5 your time.
Well, it's 3:58 my time. I'm in Colorado Mountain Time.
Yeah.
And I think it's 4 or 5 o'clock.
Correct.
Central, so Chicago. But super stoked about this one. I want to kind of start the show off though before we get to the pregame show. Vic, there was a quote here that came from Colston Loveland, and it was a message that Ben Johnson had for the team right after the Lions playoff game, and I think this will set the tone for the rest of this show and then what this team and what these Bears players are feeling heading into this matchup. Obviously, there's going to be energy. They're at home. They're going to be super hyped up for this one. But this message that was shared, it came from Adam Johns, I believe, this afternoon. It goes, Bears tight end Colston Loveland shared Ben Johnson's message following the Lions game. Here's what he said. He said, if you're not prepared to play the next 5 weeks or if you're thinking about anything else, thinking about booking a flight, vacations, anything, don't come in. Then he ended it. He made it very clear about what's at stake and what this team is looking for. And that right there got me so like, he's a madman. I just love that he's just, there was like talk about like, could he lead, right? And he's without question, I think, one of the better leaders in the NFL. Now, winning obviously helps. We talk about that, right?
For sure. Yeah, for sure. Winning cures all.
If you say that quote and you're about to head to Cancun, like, it doesn't mean right?
Yeah, that doesn't work on the 3-14 Cardinals, right? Yeah,
it doesn't. So, but I love that message. I love Ben Johnson, what he's about, the mentality that he has. It's really just, it's like really spread throughout the team, from everywhere in this organization. And it feels like a winning atmosphere, a winning mentality. They're not there, getting to the playoffs was not like, it's not like, okay, yeah, we're happy with that. No, job is not finished type of mentality. And I just love that quote before we hopped in the pod. I thought that would be a great kind of start for this one.
Well, look, I'm sure all coaches across the league are saying something like that, but I think it's extra. You believe it more based off all the other context you've gotten of Ben Johnson through the season, right? So hearing that quote just by itself, a solo entity, doesn't really hit like that. But, well, I mean, it does. But, like, knowing that Ben Johnson is kind of that madman, right? You've had so many quotes or his demeanor or how he even reacted, after one of the wins and ripping off his shirt. Like, you just know more about this head coach. And I think that is just icing on the cake. Of course, winning helps, always helps. But the fact that we have faith in this head coach, and now, like you said, the biggest thing was going into the season was knowing, can Ben Johnson lead? And we feel like he can. And we also have kind of fallen in love with who he is, as a play caller and as a leader. So I agree with you. It's perfect. I'm glad Colson Loveland said it. And it does get you excited for the playoffs. It really does. Now, they have to come out there and execute. That quote alone won't do anything, but you need to come out here, and we're going to talk about how they can do that to win this game. But stuff like that does get you hyped up, for sure.
Yeah, it does get me hyped up. And also, something else that will get us hyped up. We have a super chat, $49.99 from Jenga Renga. First of all, thank you, Jenga. We appreciate it. Super chat luck again. Sent this last time and we got a win. Hoping for this to help again bear down. We appreciate it. I hope for your sake it does as well. And I think I remember that message. I think I think it was the Packers game, if I'm not mistaken. Not the first one, the second one.
Probably.
I could be totally wrong on that, Jenga. It kind of blurs, but
we appreciate it either way. We need as much luck on our side as possible, because there's quite an interesting stat I will share later. But yes, this is it's a playoff game, so obviously it's not easy. It's a big feat, but when you think of the context of Bears-Packers playoffs, when I share that stat, you're gonna be like, wow. So we do appreciate that super chat, and thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Jenga. I think I'm not very superstitious, but I'm gonna wear the exact same outfit for that last Bears-Packers game that I had with the touchdown to DJ Moore. Same hat, same everything, socks. Nothing's changing. We'll see how it goes, see if it works out. And I really am not super. I rarely do it. I just I felt the vibe I felt that day. I want to capture everything again.
No, that's fair. Now I have to remember what I wore, because I think I need to join in with you. So
I have the video, so it's easier for me to be like recall from my wife was videoing when Caleb threw that game winner.
What a game! What a game! Question for you before we get into this: would you rather see the Bears win a close one, or the Bears just handle business? Like, obviously, close, exciting game. Mm-hmm. Like, would you rather see a walk-off, like DJ Moore touchdown again? Like, that is, you'll never forget that game. Or would you rather them go in there and just kind of, they're not going to win 50-0, but kind of handle the business where they won by like maybe 14, 17 points. And the whole game, you felt like, oh, they got control of this. Kind of like how when they played the Browns. There's no right answer.
There's something about this team. If they could manhandle Green Bay and Chicago in round one in the wild card, that would be unbelievable. Obviously, there's something, the adrenaline rush that came with that, game winner in overtime that Caleb threw. It was one of the best games, one of the best moments as a Bears fans that I'll remember it forever. And I think we sent Ryan, one of our listeners, and his dad, they ended up winning the tickets, and that game right there is something that they'll remember forever. And even just us watching the game, I loved it. But I think I'm good. I think that memory right there is good enough for me. Now, if we get another one, right, it would probably be one of the best trilogies, like Bears Packers trilogies in a season ever. But for me, to really set the tone and go out there and just beat Green Bay handily would be a message. And I think that the confidence then, wow, we just beat the Packers for a second time this year. It wasn't close. Let's go on a run here. Like, they probably believe that anyway, but just the momentum that it could create. You look at the Giants when they were obviously they had a great defense, but they kind of went on a run there. They had 9 wins, I think, heading in, or they maybe even 8 wins, and they won the Super Bowl. For this team, if they can kind of create that positive momentum and gain even more confidence, because I believe they're one of the more confident groups we've seen in Bears probably the last 10 years up until maybe 2018. They believe they can beat anybody, and it kind of shows that after the games where they are disappointed because they know they can play better. And so it would be a huge, huge, huge win if you could just blow this team out. But I don't think that's how the playoffs work. I just don't think it's rare.
Yeah, it's interesting because I agree. I would rather just them handle business, feel confident moving over into the next week. Now, I know Ben Johnson said it's hard to carry momentum week by week. Now, momentum in a game, that definitely is true, but I would rather see that too. But the data would show the last 4 Packers-Bears matchups, you got a walk-off touchdown, DJ Moore, Bears win. Game-losing interception by Nixon, thrown by Caleb Williams the game before, right? Game before that, week 18, Cairo Santos game-winning field goal. The game before that, I don't remember what week it was, but they blocked our field goal to get the win. So literally the past 4 matchups have come down to the last play. Not where it's like, oh, kind of the last play, the last drive. No, it was the last play, whether it was a field goal, blocked field goal, walk-off touchdown, or game-sealing interception. The game ended. So I agree. That's what I want to see. But history shows that we might be in for a doozy, which is crazy to think about. And then the playoffs, all that nervousness and pressure you're feeling is like tenfold. So how you felt on that last Packers game and the Packers game before that, just multiply it by 100 because it's win or go home. So
you're right. Thinking back to even last year, 2024, I think each game was close. And then just if you stick to this year, the interception where the Bears lost, to Nixon. Then of course we just talked about how the Bears won. I think we're destined for a really like a classic, essentially, again. For sure. In the playoffs, Bears, Packers, it doesn't get much better than this as far as what you want. That's why this team is on. They play Saturday night. They kind of threw Prime a bone, right? The best game of the weekend. The most eyes are going to be on this one because you have 2 charter franchises, a rivalry that's one of the best in all of sports, not just football, and then 2 really, really good quarterbacks, good teams. I don't think the head coaches truly like each other. There was a quote where it was like, and I don't think Ben directed it at Matt LaFleur. I think I don't think that's true, but it's just these guys are just total opposite, right? From the short handshakes, and then what happened was Matt LaFleur was like, we made the right choice resting our guys. Like we believe in that. And then Ben's like, no, we made the right choice. Like we play football, number 2 seed was on the line. We don't rest our guys. We don't rest our starters. We play football. And it's just these guys, like they're offensive gurus, right? But they're just completely opposite. And I just there's something there. I can't prove it, Fick, but I don't think they like each other. And it goes back to unprompted. Ben Johnson in the opener presser says, I enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur. I didn't say Green Bay, Matt LaFleur twice a year. So there's something there that it might come out 10 years down the road, but there's some animosity there that I love it. Yeah, I love it.
It's definitely the opposite of Flus, because Flus was at a Milwaukee's Bucks game, or was it maybe one of the universities
with
University
Matt
of Wisconsin with Matt LaFleur on the floor seat.
And I think that's Matt LaFleur being like, kind of getting into Matt LaFleur's head, keeping your enemy close, making him feel good, and then just kill him on Sunday, right? And that's what they did.
They definitely did that. So over and over and over again. I don't think Flus no, he didn't. Because when they beat the Packers, he was already out of the building. So I don't think Flus actually ever beat the Packers. So fun stuff. And that's why he got fired back-to-back years. Isn't that interesting? But before we move on here, we do have a $5 super chat from our man, Hall of Fame Grizzly himself, Tito. $5. Said, boys, hear me out. A first rounder, Rome, and a third for Crosby. I think Loveland and Burden will do fine and DJ for a few more years. What do y'all think? Interesting question.
So a first rounder, Rome, and a third for Max Crosby. Can we throw DJ in there?
Instead of Rome, I mean,
I get the upside with Rome that they might want.
I would say no.
There's so much. Tito, first of all, thank you for the $5.
Thank you. Yeah,
I appreciate you. This is a comment that we need for the offseason, brother. This is a comment that we need for the offseason. There's so much to go online, but I'm not trading for Crosby right now. But if you ask me 2 months down the road, when the combine's starting and the draft's a lot closer, I think that would be a really fun scenario to kind of entertain. But I love Rome, and I feel like I'm in the minority now, where it's like I think people forget. I love him. And we're gonna get back to the injury report. He said he's playing. Sneak peek there, but
he was on pace when he wasn't injured, on pace for 1,200 yards and like 12 touchdowns. Now, again, doesn't mean he was going to get it, but he was on pace.
He would have been over 1,000
for sure. I think so.
Yep. But then we get the emergence of Colston Lovin because of that,
and Luther,
and that could play dividends here on Saturday, maybe on a playoff run that the Bears do go on, where they have so many weapons. Jahdae Walker, how good is he? How good is he? Everything. I think in the 2 games he's played, he has 2 touchdowns, right?
2. Yep.
Dude.
And one of them was a clutch one on 4th down. So
it's just awesome. Awesome stuff from this offensive side of the ball is so stacked.
Oh, so stacked.
But thank you, Tito.
Yeah, thank you. That's a good one. I'll say this. If the Bears lose and it's because we got zero pressure on Jordan Love, I might be quick, especially post-game, to be like, go ahead and fire it away. But as of right now, let's keep what we got, and let's see how we can build forward. So, but great question. That was actually a really good, I think, trade proposal too. So sometimes, people throwing some crazy stuff.
That
one actually makes sense. Okay, appreciate it. All right, we're going to get to our first timeout here, and then we'll get into the game preview.
First off, thank you for watching the BFR Podcast, the number one show for the fans, by the fans. If this is your first time here, please like and subscribe, as it just helps our show grow and helps the algorithm get this show out to other awesome, amazing Bear fans like y'all as we're trying to grow this community. If this is your first time, also leave a hashtag New Face Gang in the chat. That's hashtag New Face Gang in the chat, and we'll give you a shout out before the end of the show. And if this is not your first time, this is your second time, you watched over 100 episodes or anything in between, then you are a true OG, and we want to show you some love as well. So please leave a hashtag OG in the chat, and we'll make sure to give you a shout out before the end of the show. Thank y'all for all the support for the number one show for the fans, by the fans, the BFR Podcast. Now let's get back to the show.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. All right, let's get into the injury report first. Now, I want to preface, normally we do this on Saturday, so we actually know who's going to be playing and who's not. They've only done Wednesday. Obviously, that's today. And we can see here the big ones are C.J. Gardner-Johnson, concussion, did not participate. The way he was walking off the field last game, I expect he's probably not going to play today. Grady Jarrett, that's just rest. He's fine. But Amen and Joe are also concussion. So basically the 3 people are concussion, which is good news if we win, because then they'll probably play the following week. But looking here, great news. Kyler Gordon back. Limited both days. That's good to see. I expect he will play. Jalen Jones was limited today. DJ Moore had a knee issue, but DJ Moore plays all the time, so I'm not surprised. He plays through injury. Rome is back. That's huge. Limited back-to-back days. And then Ozzy with that quad. I don't know if you saw the pregame video of his quad bruise. Nasty. Yeah. It was disgusting. So, but he's limited both days, so hopefully he's back. Another one we kind of forgot about this name, but Braxton Jones is now off IR. He was the starter at some point. I do not think he will be the starter. I think Ozzy will be, but it is good to have him.
Thick. No way.
No, I know.
Braxton Jones.
I'm saying it's good to have it, though. It is good. Like we talked about, offensive linemen get injured all the time, and Braxton Jones is a
Fick, before we move forward, you said offensive linemen get injured all the time. Knock on wood here. What a healthy season.
Yes, not ours.
It's going to be so hard to replicate this next year because it rarely happens that essentially all 5 of your offensive linemen stay truly healthy.
We had left tackle switched out, but yes, Darnell Wright missed only 1 game. Tooney, Dahlman, and Jackson did not miss a game.
But you remember, like 2 years ago, we looked at like the offensive line variations that the Bears had. It was like, what, 30?
Oh, so many. Yeah, you're flipping
in one
through
season.
Every week. Yeah, we've only probably had maybe 4 or 5.
Tevin Jenkins was like right guard, then went to left guard, then he was like left tackle for a game. Just bizarre.
Yeah, I would say this year Jonah Jackson went out once, like not for a full game, but there was a time he got injured, so someone came in for him. I don't think Tooney's gone out. I don't think Dahlman's gone out. When he first got injured on the elbow, he missed a game.
So
and then Theo and Ozzy and Braxton. That's been the rotating one, not only because of injury. Right. Yeah. Well, Braxton did get injured, but I think he already lost his spot because that's when Theo
after the bye, right?
Yeah, and then Theo lost it to Ozzy once Theo got injured. So
yeah, relatively healthy on that side. And I want to talk about Kyler Gordon. Bears DC Dennis Allen was asked about Kyler Gordon today, and it sounds like he is set to return. He goes, our plan is to have him be a part of it, meaning the game plan for Green Bay. And for me, since I've heard the news about that, they activated him. It's going to be I think it's going to be third down, like key third downs or key downs, and then the red zone. But what I love about Kyler Gordon coming back, if he is healthy, the speed.
I knew it. I was ready. I was waiting for it. Like, it begins with an S and ends with a D. And
I cannot wait for the draft. I can't. Oh man, there's going to be so much they can add to this defense where it can be lethal.
Absolutely, that'll be a fun time. But yes, so I would say pretty healthy injury report going into the playoffs. Now it's not as healthy as the Packers, in my opinion, as you can see here. And sorry, it's kind of small, but of course they don't actually tweet it out. But you have. Let's see, limited participation from Brinson and Bullard, which I think Bullard will probably play. Then you have full participation from Golden, but Golden's not going to be playing much in the playoffs anyways. That's a whole different discussion. Edrin Cooper, their starting linebacker. Bo Melton was placed on IR, so he will not be playing, he caught a touchdown, right, at wide receiver. Bo Melton did, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that was just crazy.
The breakdown.
Yes,
and the first matchup.
The big one here is that Zach Tom, their starting left tackle, is finally back, or right tackle, I believe. He was limited participation for both days, and then Lucas Van Ness was now full participation, which is good for them. And then Dontavian Wicks was limited; he'll play. John Williams is an NA. I don't even know what that means. And then Malik Willis, which he probably won't be playing, but he was limited as well. And then Jordan Love came off the IR. So when looking at the injury report, the big ones here, Zach Tom, their starting right tackle, who's been amazing all year. He's back. Obviously, Jordan Love is playing. He's back. And everyone else is, I'd say, who's not on like season IR or been on IR is healthy to play. So it's going to be an even fair matchup. And that's what you kind of typically see in the playoffs. The guys try to suit up because it's win or go home.
Absolutely. Both the Packers players, there's a clip that's going around. I think like Christian Watson, Nixon, the safety that intercepted Caleb on the first matchup in the regular season. They're all talking about how they didn't want anyone else in round one. They wanted Chicago. And it's just that it's back on, man. There's a lot of bad blood. These guys don't like each other. One of my favorite interactions, the second matchup when Jade was in the first quarter.
In the end zone?
Yeah, in the red zone, and he's basically blocking, and he gets tied up with one of the corners for Green Bay. I can't remember the player, but and Jade like is kind of getting tossed a little bit, and then he just has enough and he throws the corner kind of off of him and kind of just starts yelling. Like I just love the tenacity that these players play with. They truly there's a lot of bad blood there, and they've embraced it, which not every roster, at least in the last probably 4 or 5 years, we've seen.
Well, I hope that they embrace it, but not let it take them over. Because I would say this: the first matchup, they came out the gates a little bit too they came up a little bit too hot. And then if you remember, the first play, the kickoff return, we were on kickoff. DeMarco Jackson like jumps, on that pile. No, I don't think it should have been a flag, but you get penalty 15 yards. So there is a healthy balance. You want them amped up, but not too amped up where you're not treating this like every other game because you can start to make mistakes. So we've seen this I do like it. Like I'm with you with it, but let's not get penalties because of it. And we've kind of done that at least in the first half of both games. So hopefully since this is the third matchup, they'll be ready to go for that.
Absolutely.
For sure. Now let's get to the team overview. This is actually exciting. Because I did not expect Green Bay to have so little footballs. And I guess that makes sense, right? You've lost 4 straight. Now, of course, some of this plays into you not having Jordan Love. But, I mean, look at this. Passing game, fantastic. We've known that, right? Malik Willis actually looked, I won't say better than Jordan Love, but Malik Willis definitely earned himself a $30 million paycheck going into the next offseason. I can tell you that much. The rush game, though, has been not great. Been kind of bad. I was about to say awful. I won't say that much, but has not been great. Josh Jacobs obviously has been injured for some of that. And he hasn't looked like himself in between the tackles, so that'll be something to watch. And their blocking, they've had injuries across the board. So having Zach Tom back is definitely big for them, but their blocking hasn't been that great either. Now, on the other side, pass rush has been middle of the pack. Run defense, when you look at the full aggregation of the season, isn't that great. But when you look at the microcosm of the 2-game sample against the Bears, they've actually done a pretty decent job against us, especially with you've seen the games where we've had super high rushing yards, like 200 plus. They have not allowed that. So it's weird that they suck overall, but when they play us, for some reason, they can not let us go loose. Maybe that's just a main focus there. But their pass defense hasn't been great that much either. So that'll be something definitely to watch. Their defense is definitely a weakness. And if we can limit their run game, and we'll get to our keys and matchups and things like that, definitely a game that we can win. On our side, I'll say what happened here. We got one more football for blocking. We are now a top, I think it was 8 unit for blocking, whether pressure or run blocking. So that's great to see. But our defense has lost some footballs, especially since the San Fran game. Like you can't give up, 150 million points and expect you to be, near middle of the pack when it comes to your defense. So pass rush has lost a football and our run defense has lost a football. So not great to see on that end, but 14 footballs, 12 footballs, it's going to be a close one. And I think that's why Vegas also has this as a close one. So let's go into the Vegas odds here too. And I'm just going to say this out front. Do not bet on this game for your own health. I don't care. Please do not. It's okay. Save your money because Vegas has this as -1.5, which basically means it's a 50-50 toss-up. That, I'm sorry, you can win some good money there possibly, but a playoff game against the Packers, I'm thinking long-term for your health and your heart health. Maybe don't throw any money on this. But over under is 45.5, and money line is -102. Again, I did the whole spiel, but Dave, if you were to pick one, and we do not bet on these, but if you were to pick one, which one of these entices you?
Over. Take the over on points if I'm a betting man. But I wouldn't touch this, like you said. But again, I think the over, both defenses, there's no Micah Parsons. We know what the Bears defense is sometimes, but last week they did only give up, 19?
19.
So.
You know what's interesting too? The report just came out that it's probably going to be a snow flurry game. That's going to play some part.
Little rain.
Normally you don't have shootouts in those types of games. Not saying the over-under isn't it, but it's interesting to see how much snow and how that will play a part. Like, are we getting like a Buffalo snow game? If that's the case, that might actually benefit us because, that makes Green Bay have to run more. But if not, so it'll be interesting to see. And for once,
sure.
I don't know how you feel about this. I've definitely have been on the side of get rid of bear weather because it's never actually benefited us, because if it had, we'd win more games. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. If we win, it's because it's run dominant and because we are, a run dominant team, then maybe I'm like, I might go.
But you also have a quarterback in Caleb where his arm is so special, where it's one of the few in this league where he can throw through anything. It can be a hurricane. His arm, the ball doesn't change very much, if any. Excuse me. So you do have that advantage. Of course, I'm a dome guy. I just want to be inside. where you don't have to worry about those variables, those conditions. But when you have a guy like Caleb, it doesn't really change. It doesn't change much, and that can be an advantage. But Jordan Love should be fine. He plays in Wisconsin, plays in Green Bay. So we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be electric. This atmosphere is going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, this man, to be at this game would be fantastic.
Yeah.
What a time. What a time. Okay, let's get now to our key matchups here. And let's take a look here. I'll go first.
Okay.
This one's pretty obvious, but it's Caleb Williams versus Jordan Love. And why I say that is because these quarterbacks aren't that different than what you'd think. I'm going to look up PFF here, but you're looking at PFF grade. Jordan Love, 88.5. Caleb Williams, 75.5. Passer rating in a clean pocket. Jordan Love has Caleb beat 128 to 99. But still, 99 is pretty good. When you're looking at passer rating under pressure, Caleb has Jordan Love beat 68.8 to 46.7. When you talk about big time throw percentage, they're close to each other, 5.18 and 4.15. And then when you look at turnover worthy plays, they're nearly identical. 2.69% for Jordan Love and 2.67% for Caleb Williams. So these guys have been playing pretty well throughout the year, right? Jordan Love's been doing it for seasons. We obviously know that. But Caleb has played a pretty good season. And we've seen how Caleb looks in the most crucial moments, fourth quarter, overtime, whatever it is, he delivers. So I have this as the main matchup because I believe, and I think you believe this too when we look at your score later, this game's going to come down to the fourth quarter. Yeah. It's going to come down to that, and it's going to be, okay, who ends up making the mistake first, right? And, you know, that's what we're here for. That's what you pay the big money for. That's how Jordan Love got paid. You got to see your quarterback come out here and perform. It's a team sport, but when it comes down to the end, he's going to have the ball in his hands, and he's got to make the right decision. So those are my key matchups.
I like it. I think you're right. It's going to come down to these quarterbacks. It's really been like that the last two games, Jordan Love and Caleb, and we'll see. We'll see. I almost went with those two. Here. I think you talked about the conditions. I think the Bears are going to lean heavy on this run game early, really throughout the entirety of the game. Not that doesn't mean that Caleb's not going to throw it 20, 25 times, but I think the Bears run game is, if they can get this thing going and they can really, really control the time of possession and really tire out this defense. I think that's the way to go. We talked about how dominant this run game has been between Monungai and Swift. I would just like to see it consistently through four quarters, and we'll I think Ben's going to have that locked in. He spends a lot of time in the run scheme, and so I think he's going to have something special, especially when you take a look back at last week against the Lions, where it was very vanilla, where the game plan was so different. He did not want to show anything to Green Bay, where I think he's going to throw everything. On Saturday you don't have a choice now. And so I'm excited to see what they have, see what playoff Ben Johnson looks like outside of, I know we saw him in Detroit, but this is a completely different team that he has the weapons. We'll see. I'm stoked. Like I said, I can't say it enough.
Yeah, no, it's going to be an exciting one for sure. It's definitely going to come down to a lot of factors, but I think that's big, especially with the weather. I see a lot of people in here asking like what the weather's going to be like. There's reports that came out today that said it's going to be snowing. So yeah, great question there, Alex, our Patreon member. Appreciate to you. But a good comment here too says, gross, but our run game will help us even more. Yep. They say the run game and defenses travel in the playoffs. So, well, we have one of those. We have a run defense, and we'll see how we have a run game. We'll see how the defense looks. But, I like this comment. Iceman weather. You got that right. Appreciate that, Max. That's a good one. That is a good one. All right, we're going to get to our second timeout here, and then we're going to get to the keys of the game. We got our bold takes and, of course, our score predictions.
Hey,
all right, we're going to get back.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say I got a DM from Age. I think he's one of our listeners. He goes, let me see here. He goes, how many times do you think, or what's the over-under, how many times they show the double doink on Saturday? That's from AJ. AJ Grimm 04 on Twitter.
They'll probably show
I think at least twice.
Yeah, at least once for sure.
So for me, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, they have to. I mean, we don't make the playoffs that often, so they got to draw back to like the last meaningful playoff game. They're going to show it at least once. No question. Yeah. So unfortunately, that's the world we live. But if
it's a close game though, and it comes down to Santos kicking, I guarantee you they're going to throw that up there before he kicks.
Can you say this though? look, Santos is kind of clutch. So if it comes down to that, I actually have confidence that he'll hit it. So like Santos will miss a 40-yarder in the second quarter, but when it comes down to winning the game, if it doesn't get blocked, the man's actually pretty automatic. So hopefully that trend continues, but hopefully it doesn't come to that. Like we said, can we get a nice, easy win so I can just like go to sleep in peace? But that's not playoff football. But let's get to our second timeout here, and then we'll get to the rest of the show.
All right, we're going to get back to the episode real quick, but I had to take a moment to pause and tell you about something awesome that we have cooking up over here at the BFR Podcast, and that is our Patreon membership. You can join our Patreon, the BFR Den, where we have a bunch of great exclusive stuff that happens monthly, like monthly giveaways, private Zoom calls, mailbag episodes, and much, much more to come. I mean, we've got tons of features in there. We've got 2 tiers. We have our top tier, which is $10 a month, our Hall of Fame tier. What comes with that, which is very exclusive, is our private Zoom calls with our members. So every month, you're going to get a private Zoom call with me, Dave, and Jack, and we just get to talk about whatever, shoot the shit, football, life. It's a wonderful time. And then if you want to go to the lower level, we have our Rookie Grizzly tier, which is $3 a month. And what that includes is like the private Discords, the monthly giveaways, the free merch, all the events if we have coming up, things like that, access to exclusive merch that's only for our Patreon members, and any other cool features. You'll get that at the $3 level tier. And then with the $10 level tier, you will get the private Zoom call as well. Now, you can join for free. We do post our monthly calendars in there, so you can kind of see what we have going on each month. And we post our episodes there as well. So if you want to join that ongoing community, which we keep building up, please do so at the BFR Den on Patreon. Also, as well, we give a shout out to all of our Patreon members every single episode that we do. So if you join, we'll make sure to show you some love on every episode as well. So again, you can join the BFR Den on Patreon at the BFR Den on Patreon. And we just love the support. You guys are great. Shout out to all our Patreon members, and let's get back to the show.
Absolutely. And for our Patreon members, we are announcing the giveaway winner tonight. I think it's at like 8 p.m. So stay tuned for that. Exciting stuff. We love giving away stuff. That is what we do here at the Bears Film Room Podcast. All right, let's keep it going. Let's get to our keys to the game here, and I will kick it off. Pun intended here. So we got to get explosive runs early. I think in the 2 matchups against the Packers this year, we've only had 3 explosive run plays, which means a run of 10 yards or more. I don't know if we ended up leading the NFL in explosive plays, but like for the first, I'd say good 10 weeks, we were first in the NFL. And typically we get at least a couple a game from our run game. Like it's been really dominant. One of the top 3 rushing games in the NFL. So we haven't been able to do it against the Packers, and I just don't know why. But if they find a way to do that early, they won't have to rely on Caleb. Now, I'm not saying Caleb can't do it, but you don't have to rely on that, and it opens up play action and much more. I just feel like you have a lot more opportunities there. Now, looking on the defensive side, you got to take a look at Watson. Christian Watson, he definitely beat us last game where he had that slant on CJ Walker and man and just got cooked. We don't do well in man is what I'm learning because, like Dave says, we do not have a lot of speed. But Watson, it's not just against us. Watson leads the NFL in deep yardage yards, which means basically catching the ball. I think it's like 30-plus yards. He leads the NFL in that. And he also has 6 touchdowns on deep passes, which also leads the NFL. So he's definitely a deep man weapon. That is how you can get your heart ripped out of your chest, is from giving up a deep play. We got to figure out a way to contain him. We really do. So that's the big one there. And then the third and final, so 2 defensive ones here, is you got to get quick pressures or else. We are dead last in the NFL. Dead last in getting quick pressures. It means getting to the quarterback within under 2.5 seconds, I believe. It might be different depending on what who's calculating the metric. But got to get to the quarterback quick, because when you cause pressure on Jordan Love, he's known to make mistakes, right? He doesn't turn the ball over often, but when he does turn the ball over, it's not when he has a clean pocket. So you got to figure out ways to get to him. We need Montez Sweat to step up. We need Austin Booker to step up. We need Grady Jarrett to have a great game with Javon Dexter. So those are my 3 big takeaways for the game.
I was looking at kind of the stats here. When it comes to Christian Watson, you said don't beat him deep. Absolutely. Like Bo Milton too, like those guys. But the crossers are what scare me. Detroit did it last week. Green Bay killed us with Watson on a simple cross. It's his speed when they line up man. Yeah. Exactly. So, but zone, they kill you too sometimes. So that's where Kyler Gordon, when it's those critical third downs, 3rd and 6, right? And they're at their, the Bears 45, having a guy like Kyler that can kind of help inside and maybe cover. And I don't know what his hamstring looks like or how athletic he's going to be, but 90% Kyler Gordon is probably still about 20% faster than anybody else on this team. So the crossers are what scare me. The deep crossers too. However, I feel like Kevin Byard and Brisker are pretty nice back there. Of course, they got beat with Bo Milton. That kind of comes to mind, but yeah, limit the big plays. We'll get to mine, I guess, if you want. I think that's one of them.
You know what's interesting before we get to that? Like, we ran so much man yesterday, and maybe that was just keeping the defense simple. But I saw a stat, I think it was on NFL Pro, was talking about how, let me see if I can find it. When playing cover 3 this season, the Bears allowed the lowest passer rating of 64.8 and intercepted a league high 10 passes. So they have 10 interceptions and a super low passing rate. But despite this success, they've played cover 3 at a below average rate. So I'm like, okay, there's got to be a reasoning to it, but I'm like, that's obviously our best coverage. I'm hoping we see more of that in this matchup. Now, obviously you can't flood, you can't have all your plays be one certain coverage, or obviously Jordan Love or any quarterback will dice you up because they know what's coming. But I was surprised to see that not only is it our best coverage, but we also use it at a lower rate. And maybe that's because we're surprising people when we use it. I don't know, but just interesting to see. Anything to get us out of man on crucial downs, I'd really appreciate it, because we have not looked good in man so far.
And then sending Kyler on a blitz, I can't wait to see that again. He's going to do it. Dennis Allen, I think, will have a very, very exotic game plan. I don't think it's going to be something that the Green Bay is going to be prepped for or that they've seen this year. I think there's going to be a lot of things that are just they've been waiting. They've been waiting for this type of moment. Round 1 in the playoffs is going to be great. Let's go and get to my keys to the game. I do. So limit big plays. I won't spend too much time on it. It's very, very self-explanatory. We've seen the Bears be kind of killed at St. Brown last week, where it's a simple route that obviously gets them 20, 25 yards. Cannot do that. Not in the playoffs. Not against Jordan Love and this Packers team. And then simply win the turnover battle. I would love to see 2 turnovers. If they can get 2, Caleb obviously takes care of the football. Only had 7 interceptions all year. I think the Bears have a really, really good chance here if they can win this turnover. I'm not talking about like 1-0. I would love to see like 2-3 big time turnovers, because that's when I think this Bears team is elite, where they can steal a couple possessions, because they can't stop a lot of them. So they might hold them to a field goal, but to really, instead of getting a turnover on downs or making them punt, which does not happen very, very often, I think getting those takeaways, that's what's really helped this team throughout the season. Obviously, they lead the league in that category on defense. So lastly, score more. Okay, for some reason, I know what I put, but I thought this read score more than the Pat.
Yeah.
Did I really put
that? Would help.
Score more than 0 points in the first 3 quarters. This is, I could not believe it watching the game back last week, where we don't score for essentially 3/4 of the game. And then it's like the light, that meme where, the guy's sitting in his seat, but he slowly pops up.
He logs.
He's sitting like controller. This, and he's just like, gets real serious. That's the Bears offense last week. So I don't want to see that again. Please, God, no. But those are my keys. Obviously, there's so much more, but
they're good ones. So good that I almost died behind screen. No, because that busted me up when you said, I thought you put score more points than the Packers. I'm like, well, that's kind of
a good one. That's a good key.
Like the main.
That's the key.
Max. Yeah. Max. Excuse me. Cough's coming, but good stuff. Hopefully I can make it to Sunday or Saturday. Actually watch the game at this rate. But let's get to the bold takes here. Now, this record will probably kill me for both of us. Not great on the bold takes here. We end the official season. Now we still got games. 6-11 for Dave, 8-9 for me. Both under 500, looking like the NFC South. Not great, but this is where we turn it around. We're going to go on a 4-game win streak here. Starting off with me first. Excuse me. I think we do it. 2 games we have not been able to unlock the run game. It's going to be cold. Bear football, right? Everything about it. Ben Johnson's going to have this run game humming, and I believe that's what's going to help us win the game. So I'm going to say bold take, 200 plus rushing yards. That's hard to do in a playoffs. I don't care. That doesn't happen very often, but it has happened to the Packers multiple times this season. And most recently, just 2 weeks ago, Derrick Henry did it literally by himself. He had like 230 or something like that. So again, that's Derrick Henry, but still, it can be done. That's my bold take. And if we get that, I think we win. Now, Dave, yours.
Yep. Not a great year. Obviously, room for improvement next season. Montez Sweat, 1.5 sacks. I feel it. He's had a weird season, very underrated. Hasn't done enough because we're looking for Max Crosby type production. That's what we wanted out of him, which I don't think is necessarily fair from a lot of fans, from that perspective. But if he was a complimentary edge, with like a Max Crosby, it would be insane. I think he would obviously be elevated from a guy like that. But when you pay him big time money, you don't have that luxury. You don't have that patience. So I get it. But I feel a big game here from Montez at home against Green Bay. Maybe a strip sack. I almost put a strip sack, but I was like, those are fluky. You know how those are kind of I'm trying to get on the board here. Like I said, go on a 4-0 run, end the season on bold takes. So
let me give you 2 stats here about Montez Sweat, which shows how complicated of a player he is. Like I still think he's a good player, but when people are like, a lot of people think he's ass, and that's not true at all. But he's good in a lot of areas. Like his run defense is really good. Actually, I'd probably say he's a top run defending edge in the NFL. And then his pass rush is interesting. And I'll give you 2 stats here. First off, let's start with the bad. He's recorded 48 pressures and 11.2 pressure rate, which is both of his worst marks since 2021. And not only that, he's recorded a career-long 3.33 second time to pressure, which means it takes him a long time to then get to the pressure, okay? That's the negative. But the positive is, despite that low rate, he's generated a sack on 20.8 of his pressures in 2025, and that's the highest rate since 2019. And I think that's top 10 in the NFL, his pressure to sack rate. So not getting a lot of pressures, taking a lot of time to get to the pressures, but when he gets the pressure, he does a lot with it. And to add on to that, not only does he do a lot with it, he's recorded 4 turnovers caused by those pressures in the regular season, tied third most by any defender. So basically what the moral of the story is, you don't see him. There's not a lot of pressure. So a lot of people feel like you don't see him, making a lot of chaos throughout the game. But when he does, he makes a big play. So when you see him when he does get pressure, he causes a fumble, forces an interception, he's making plays. So that's kind of like the duality of Montez Sweat right now. I think having another edge can help elevate that. And, maybe he's not that multiplier, but someone else could be to help alleviate some of that pressure. But that's kind of, when I saw both, I was like, it's an interesting story on how you paint Montez Sweat. But overall, I still think, great signing that Poles needed to do, especially after coming off that season. We just want a little bit more, and that's okay. But he has not been awful. I promise you he has not been that. So,
yeah.
Interesting stuff. Okay, let's get to the score predictions here. Now, we can actually look at something positive for once. Oh, my goodness. Now, we both lost last week, and so did the Bears. But you're above 500 at 9-8. I am at 11-6. I've been basically matched up with the Bears like the last 4 weeks, which has been so interesting. So let's go ahead and take a look at my score predictions here. I have the Bears winning 24-20. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be a close game. They're always close games until we actually stomp a team, which we haven't done in a minute, right? We've played, 8 close games this year, 9 close games. Hard for me to believe. But all that matters is that the main takeaway that we talked about is that you score more points than your opponent, and I have faith that they can do it this week. All right, let's take a look at your score prediction. This one scares me.
Yeah, I don't. Predicting this game was not fun. I can't pick the Bears to lose. I just can't do it. Everything in my heart believes that this is just going to be a very, very nerve-wracking, nail-biting, like we've seen the first 2. I hope the Bears come out on top. I feel like they have every opportunity. Being at home is great. we'll just have to wait and see. But I feel like this is another neck and neck game where it's like there's gonna be so many plays that depending on what the outcome is, we're gonna be analyzing everything. Because I think every play is going to matter. That's the playoffs for you. And
it is.
I'm excited to be able to see this team. They're so young. A lot of people forget about how young they are. Young head coach, young quarterback, this core. Obviously got some vets, Kevin Byard, even like Cole Kmet, Jalen Johnson, which I'm so happy for those two, being able to get to the playoffs. They've been with Chicago since
6 years,
2020. Yeah. 6 years now. And this is their first crack, I think. Unless they got there in 2020, but
no, Mitch was 2019 or 2018. I can't remember, but yeah, it's been at least 5 years because they're on their second contract. So it's been a while. But the Bears got
to deliver, man. Last 2 times the offense had a chance to win this game against the Lions, 49ers. We know how that game came down to the final play. They get back to what they were.
Man, is that 3 weeks in a row? No, we had the Browns game. That wasn't close. Yep. I was going to say, not losses, but of close games. Because who was in between the Packers and both Packers games? Was that Browns?
May have been.
So that means it's basically, I know, right? So basically close game last week, close game the week before, close game because it was Packers. Yeah. Then you got the Browns you beat and then Packers again. So it's been literally 6 weeks of close games, basically. So yeah, crazy. This comment here from Ron on YouTube said cardiac Bears game. I think it's been a cardiac Bears season, right? Luckily, we've come out on the right side of history for most of those, and hopefully they can continue it. And then I'm famous said, Dave, you're right. They made it in 2020. So good stuff there. All right, let's get to our final timeout here, and then we're going to get to our Monday headlines and our shout-outs like we always do. But in the meantime, I want to also know your guys' score predictions, what you think of the game. So go ahead in the comments. Let us know who you think's winning. I don't want to see any Green Bay wins in there, but love to see all of the predictions. So as we get to this final timeout here.
All right, before we close out the show, I got to tell you about some awesome stuff that we have cooked up on the BFRstore.com. As you can see here, we have hats, hoodies, mugs, stickers, a whole bunch of fire stuff, and we're always working on new creative designs. Maybe jerseys coming. Yeah, who knows? But you can check it all out at thebfrstore.com. All the proceeds from the merch store just goes back right into the show. And plus, we want to give you fire stuff because we want to look fly all the time, and we want y'all to look fly as well. So if you want to support the BFR show, go to thebfrstore.com. We appreciate all the love and support. Now let's get back to the show.
Absolutely. We appreciate all the support as always, because again, this is the Bears Film Room Podcast, the #1 show for the fans, by the fans, where Dave, me, and Jack, we're fans like y'all, go through the highs and lows and the nervousness of a playoff game, and we want to make sure we put you fans first. So we appreciate y'all being here with us on a Wednesday afternoon. Great stuff. I know it's playoff week, so I know that, a lot of us are busy, but I appreciate y'all being here with us and helping us through this journey, because it's been such a fantastic ride. Okay, let's go ahead and get to our Monday headlines. Hopefully not the last of the season. We'll kick it off here. What I have is about damn time. And remember, I told you a stat that I wanted to share earlier, quite depressing. The last time Chicago Bears beat the Packers in the playoffs was what year? If you could guess. Not to put you on the spot. I did not know this till like before the show.
I couldn't tell you. It's got to be a while ago.
1941.
Anybody watching this podcast probably was not even born.
No, there's no
that they don't remember it. No one watched this with their eyes, own eyes.
For sure. Yeah, 1941. So it's been a minute. So if we beat the Packers in the playoffs, about damn time. Not only that, the last playoff win for the Bears was 2011, I believe. They beat the Seahawks to go to the NFC Championship. And they lost, I think, to the Packers in that game, which then the Packers went to the Super Bowl and beat the Steelers. So again, Packers in the way. This just happens to be the story of, millennium for the Bears. So about damn time, get that dub, and let's move on to whoever we have next.
This comment here. Imagine picking 32nd. That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Love that. Chris Kelly on YouTube. It's a good one. My Monday headline is Trilogy Complete. Not happy with this one. I've had better this season. But like I said, I hope I like this. I hope I love this trilogy. And Yeah, it has a chance to be one of the more epic ones, especially if we're on the right side of it for this one. So,
like if it's your score and it ends up being basically we scored three touchdowns. We're down 23-21, and then we just hit Cairo Santos hits a game winner. You're not going to see a better 3-game, technically a 5-game straight. Yeah, you're never going to see a better 5-game stretch of Packers Bears for sure.
Yeah,
correct. No, again, I'd hope that's not the case. I hope it's like we're up by 30 and it's like, hey, who gives a shit? But that probably will not be the case because it's the playoffs and normally both teams show up ready to ball out. So, you know who always shows up ready? Our Hall of Fame Patreon members. So we gotta give a shout out to them. Let's give a shout out to Michael from across the pond, Gage, Philly the Fourth. We got Michael Berry, Angie, Ryan Reeves. We got Daniel Jones across the pond, Thomas, Tito. Thank you for the Snapchat, Super Chat. We got Dave, we got Jerome from Darien, and we got Chris. Thank you guys so much. It was awesome seeing a lot of you on the Hall of Fame monthly Zoom call that we had. That was awesome. I love getting to know y'all. Dave and I had a fantastic time as always. But also we want to give a shout out to our rookie Grizzlies. We got Alex, who's probably lifting right now, Chris, Ethan, Lee, our newest member. Shout out to Lee, our newest rookie Grizzly member. We got Caleb, Jason, and Megan. Thank you all so much. We really do appreciate it. Again, this show would not be anything without the Patreon support. We really do appreciate that. All the money from that just goes right back into the show. And so that me and Dave can keep giving you guys valuable stuff, whether that's through merch or store, all different types of stuff. We just want to make sure, again, we put the fans first because this is Bears Film Room Podcast, the #1 show for the fans, by the fans. And speaking of that, we still got winners like we always do every week on our Discord, which you should join. Free to join. Link in the description. Shout out to King Loman. And then also Jerome from Darien. They tied this week on the Discord predictions. I will say this week was a rough one because not many people got it anywhere close. But a winner has to be chosen. You both won, and you both got a gift card to the BFR store. Yeah, you both got a gift card to the BFR store. So hopefully you guys enjoy that and get yourself or some friends, family, some fire merch. Okay, let's go through here real quick. We'll go to our shout outs like we always do. We got Cody, Malachi in here. Hashtag OG with a bold take. We create 3 turnovers and send them bees home. I'd love that. We'll say
I need that
Bears,
one, Cody.
Facts. 2 turnovers or more, the Bears are undefeated this season. So if they get 3, I guarantee they win. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
New face gangs. We know it's been a minute since we actually seen someone comment on it, but we got Bull MK Trich on YouTube. Said hashtag new face gang. Duh Bears. Appreciate that, Bull. Really do. We got a question here from Cody Malachi. Do you think it's an advantage in our favor that Love hasn't played in a couple weeks? I would think so. He's still going to play well. It's not like he forgot how to play football, but he might be a little rusty in the first.
Yeah, I won't read too much into that one.
Yeah, we'll have to see though, because I mean, it's not like he's not going to be.
I mean, there's all the starters, Packers starters that haven't played in this will be almost 2 weeks, so
that's true.
They'll be fine.
That's true.
They'll be fine.
All right, let's see. Alex Hamilton. Oh, we did answer this one. What's the weather like for Saturday? It's going to be a snow game, a bear game.
Cold.
For sure. Cold. We got Imperial 34 on YouTube with the hashtag OG. Another one. Bears forced 3 turnovers is my bold take. Okay. You got people agreeing.
I need it.
Yeah, I would absolutely love that. And then we have Tito here with hashtag OG. Read my last super. Oh, did you send another one in? Oh, he did.
He did. Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. Thank you, Tito. Appreciate it. Tito here with $5, and he said, and for the people saying fired Dennis Allen, please stop. He's a solid defensive coach. He's been working with backups all year and has no pressure. Fix it. He'll make us top 10. I agree. Dennis Allen in New Orleans there was a stretch of like 6 seasons when he was defensive coordinator where his team was top 10 in defense DVOA. So I do agree he's a good defensive coordinator. And once he gets a little bit better pieces, I think he'll be able to unlock that side of the ball. And thanks for calling that out, Tito, because I totally missed that.
Yeah, thank you, Tito, for the 5.
Yeah,
we appreciate
thank you for the super chat there. And the first super chat as well. We really do appreciate it.
Totally agree with the Dennis Allen.
Absolutely. All right, let's go through. Let's see if there's anything else. Nope, don't think so. We'll go ahead and as we close out the show, we'll go ahead and share all of the score predictions in there. If you have any other comments you want to be shown as the show ends, make sure to get them in out and we'll go ahead and put them through. But I appreciate everyone hopping in on a not normally a normal time, but a Wednesday afternoon to get ready for Packers week. And I'm just like hyped, and I appreciate all y'all being here.
Yeah, no, me too. We'll see what Saturday brings. We'll be going live More than likely right after the game. It's going to be a late one. But you know where to find us. We'll be here. We've jumped up, I think, almost 5,000, maybe 6,000 subscribers since the start of the season. So I just want to say again, thank you for the support. If you're watching on YouTube right now, hit that like button for us. Just helps the algorithm. Tell a Bears fan. Like I said, the growth it's been unreal. So cannot wait to cover the Bears and Packers post-game show. Fick, it cracks me up. I'm seeing some of these tweets here. The Packers players are Josh Jacobs in particular. Just saw the tweet and essentially says like they took offense to Jordan Love being knocked out, and so they didn't. He's basically like, we're not gonna play dirty, but we're gonna protect our guy. And I just can't believe they couldn't be more wrong. And I'm talking about when Austin Booker came in, Jordan Love lowered his head. Of course, they connected and hit, helmet to helmet. But like I said, it just amps up. I love this. The where it's at right now, the state of the Bears-Packers rivalry is just
beautiful. It's what you want.
It is a chef's kiss. It's perfect. So
yeah, that's exactly what you want.
Cannot wait. I hope it's a Bears win because Chicago would be everything. The chat, everyone, every Bears fan, whether you're in Alaska or Chicago, is going to be going nuts. So we appreciate the support. Cannot wait for Saturday night.
Cannot wait. Absolutely. No better way to finish the show, but I do want to give one last one here. #OG from Ron on YouTube said, DJ with another game-winning touchdown would be crazy. What a perfect way to cop off the trilogy. So appreciate that, Ron.
Thanks, Ron.
Appreciate it. Excuse me. Any final words other than FGB? Let us know in the comments.
Bear down. 3 days.
3 days, man. Good luck, everybody. Peace.